Welcome to Pario magazine, where I chat with individuals who have a desire to create. Today I'm joined by an actor who is set to play Maverick in the upcoming production of Top Gun the Musical. Welcome to Pario magazine, Ian Andrew.
Thanks very much. Good to be here.
So like we said, we're here today to chat about your journey in the world of theatre and the upcoming Top Gun the Musical production. Before we dive into all of that, do you want to give our audience a brief little introduction as to who Ian is away from the stage?
Sure thing. So when I'm not in theatre productions, either musical theatre or television productions, I mostly work as a voice teacher. Also run musical theatre classes. I also run a software company just for something different on the side. I take part in Muay Thai just for something really different on the side. So it's good to be well-rounded. Can't do theatre all the time.
Lots of different passions. When did you first discover this passion for acting and musical theatre, though?
It would have been when I was studying composition at university at the Older Conservatorium, and the university was putting on a production that I was invited to participate in, and because they were short on males, as is often the case, and I had never taken part in production before, but just fell in love with the process of creating a character and having, workshopping the story and bringing it to life. And it was kind of a complete change in tack from then on, and everything became all about the performing and the acting.
Okay. So then now you're about to take on the lead role in Top Gun the Musical. How does that feel to sort of be playing such an iconic character?
Yeah, no pressure. It's a popular movie. Look, it's pretty great. The musical itself is sort of a show within a show about a group of actors and producers and writers trying to put on Top Gun the Musical and trying to do justice to the original. So it does cut between scenes of actually playing Maverick, the Tom Cruise character, and Maverick, the actor, who is unfortunately a little bit simple and doesn't really understand what's going on. So the show itself is sort of split between two worlds.
Okay.
But hopefully we can still do some justice to the original.
Yep. And sort of, how did you come to find out about this show and then obviously be cast in such an iconic role?
Sure. So Salty Theatre, the company producing the show, has been sort of up and coming for a while now, and they've been producing quite a few shows that I've had the chance to see. I think their most recent one was Voldemort and the Teenage Hogwarts, which they've just done a return season of, which is fantastic. And I thought, this is a company I want to work with. And I'd also worked with one of the producers, Sarah Louise, on a show years ago, so I knew some of the production team from that. So when the briefs came out for this one, I went, yep, let's do it, and jumped in. And it was a long audition process. There were a lot of Mavericks there, a lot of Icemans. As you can imagine, it's a popular show, and there's a lot of very handsome men wandering around looking to be the next Maverick. But we had, I think, 2 or 3 days of callbacks and playing scenes against each other with all the various cast members until they settled on a cast that they were happy to use.
Yeah, how important is that sort of dynamic between all of the characters in this show?
Yeah, so important. Especially first of all, as an actor, you have to have that the other cast members to play off of. You can't pre-plan everything. A lot of it's about seeing how they deliver things on the day and delivering it back appropriately, and it's very much alive, and you're creating it as you go. And part of that is being able to trust the other actors to do that and explore their character and make offers, which is half the fun of it. But also, when you're actually in the performance, you need to be sort of all working towards that same goal. So it's really important to get the right mix of people who are there to work as a team. But also in the context of this particular version of production, I think what makes it come together is almost that sitcom feel of having some very distinct personality types that you would find in a theatre production or an office maybe, or something else, of the really earnest, simple one, or the older, jaded, more experienced one who has no time for it, or the the one who's trying to sort of get in with the producer and sleep her way to the top or whatever. And we've taken all these sort of archetypal characters and throwing situations at them, and allowing it to play out based on who they are. And I think that's where a lot of the comedy comes from in this show, because it is, at the end of the day, quite funny. And a lot of it is just down to that character interaction of different strong personality types butting heads.
Yep. And there's some pretty iconic scenes in the Top Gun movie, namely the volleyball scene. Did you have to
the volleyball scene,
get into a crazy ripped shape for that part of the play?
I am actually in the process of doing that, yeah, just so we've got those options available. I think most of the cast are already pretty close to that, fortunately. So I think the volleyball scene is definitely on the table, but we don't. My understanding is we don't get the full volleyball scene because the actor playing Goose in the show is a woman, and everything comes to a halt when she's not sure whether she's going to be required to take her top off for the scene or not, and things start to spiral down from there. So, but we do sort of capture a few iconic moments. No spoilers, but you can expect to see some of the best moments played out. Yeah.
Okay. So then, like you said, there's been some changes to this. How have you adapted such an iconic movie to the stage environment?
So the writers have set the show as if it were being workshopped. As I said, a show within a show. So it's we're sort of, the audience is sort of getting to see the late stages of the rehearsal process of them trying to adapt this show. It does mean that the plane becomes made from chairs, and we don't always have, we're not talking big set pieces. We're talking like you're sort of getting a fly on the wall view of the rehearsal process, but and seeing them trying to make it work. And that's what the story is really about, everyone trying to pull this thing together. So until the very end, at least, we maybe get a bit more of a glimpse of what it could have been. But most of it is about we're viewing the process of trying to adapt it for stage, and whether or not that's successful, and where the pitfalls are.
Has that been fun? Because I guess that gives you a little bit more freedom in how you play certain pieces or segments of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, the writers obviously have pulled the movie apart and looked for all those opportunities. I'd say they've looked at the movie and said, if this were being adapted for a musical, what could possibly go wrong? And then they've taken everything that could go wrong and kind of thrown it at the show. So that's that play that goes wrong sort of sense of everything sort of falling apart wherever it can at the seams. But that's, yeah, again, half the fun of it is just it makes the reality is the actual movie itself, it's amazing, we all love it, but there's a lot of sort of sweaty masculinity going on, a lot of over the topness that we look back on now and kind of laugh at. It's a little bit homoerotic and it's a little bit cheesy at times, and obviously, if you were trying to, in real life, adapt just the film itself for stage, you would come up into those moments and go, how far do we want to lean into this scene? And, can we even do that anymore? And so they're very much exploring that in the show.
Okay, sounds fun. And with Top Gun Maverick recently performing so well in the cinemas, has that added a little bit more pressure on how to bring this show to the stage?
I don't know if it's added pressure. I think if anything, it's made it more exciting. It's just such a great time to sort of that movie was fantastic, and it's brought things back to life. It's reminded people what they loved about Top Gun, and I think it's a really good time for us to be sort of taking it into a musical theatre context, and that's the beauty of musical theatre, being able to take all those moments and heighten them with music and heighten them with song, which is what it's really all about. And I think the timing just lines up beautifully.
And in that sense, do you feel this show could act as sort of a gateway into the musical theatre world for people that might not normally think about going to a musical theatre show?
Yeah, I would hope so. You definitely don't have to have a great love of musicals to see this one. It's much more of a sort of contemporary, a modern rock score. So no sort of old school big bandy stuff that might be off-putting to some. Of what they think of as the old school musical. And also, you don't even have to have seen the movie of Top Gun to follow the show, because there are characters in the show who have no idea what's going on, mostly myself, and you know, so we get to sort of see it through their eyes of trying to understand what's going on in this show as well. So yeah, absolutely, this is, you don't have to have a love of musical theatre to appreciate this. You don't have to have a love of Top Gun to appreciate this one. It's just very easy to go along for the ride.
Okay, great. And then how are you feeling personally ahead of the opening night?
Oh, so excited. It's, you know, the process of putting these shows together is just, especially with a really sort of talented cast of actors who are intelligent and can make all sorts of offers that add to the script. It just means that, you know, you go from this very sort of blank slate script where the context itself is funny, the jokes aren't necessarily written in there, but then you just see it starting to come to life, and people have ideas, and they all start to play off each other, and then you get to the point where you go, okay, now we need to do this in front of some people, and you know, see what they like and see what they don't, and that's where that's where it really starts to come to life, and you can play with the audience a little bit and play off of what they're enjoying. So just super keen to get it all put together.
And should this show be a roaring success, would you like to take the show around the country?
Oh, absolutely. I think it has huge scope for being toured. It's, you know, set wise and production wise, it's quite small and portable. I don't see any reason why, if it did well here, that we couldn't take it elsewhere. Maybe sort of you know, Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide might want to keep their eyes and ears out for a production near them if everything goes well.
Fantastic. And then finally, where is the best place for people to support you and track your creative journey moving forward?
Me personally,
Yep.
you can follow me on Instagram at _Ian_Andrew. It's probably the best place to find me. Otherwise, I will be around the Melbourne musical theatre scene. I guarantee you will find me somewhere. And then for the show itself, just check out the Salty Theatre website or Salty Theatre Instagram, at Salty Theatre. And you can get tickets for this one and keep tabs on all their upcoming shows as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me, and good luck with the show.
No stress, mate. Thank you very much.